Hello everyone, my name is Nareen Clute and I will be doing my final discussion presentation on the P2R reading strategy. On the Week 7 Education 10 module, I learned various reading strategies to help me remember important information when reading a text for memory and for studying purposes. I found that the P2R method helped me stay focused while reading because I'm able to skim the article first and then go back and reread the important information later on. Also, my overall reading time was more efficient in utilizing the strategy. I found that the P2R method was quick and simple for me to follow and allowed me to better understand the article's main point and purpose. I believe that the P2R method helped me memorize the reading's main points quicker because I felt engaged when using the strategies for this method. P2R is an acronym that stands for Peer, Read, and Actively Review. The P2R reading method is a comprehensive approach to reading that involves 4 stages: previewing the material, reading actively, reflecting on the content, and reviewing the material to reinforce understanding. There are several reasons why the P2R reading method may improve student learning, cognition, and study motivation. The first way is that P2R improves comprehension. The P2R method emphasizes active reading and reflection, which helps students better understand the material. By previewing the material, students can get an overview of the context and identify key concepts. When they read actively, they engage with the material and are more likely to remember what they have read. Reflecting on the content helps students make connections between different text meanings. The second way P2R enhances memory retention is the P2R method helps students retain information in their long-term memory because when reviewing the material after reading, students reinforce their understanding of the content and consolidate their memory of key concepts. This is especially important for retaining information for exams and assessments. P2R also encourages critical thinking because it encourages students to think critically about the content they are reading. By reflecting on the material, students can identify their own thoughts and opinions, compare different ideas, and evaluate the author's arguments. This helps them develop analytical skills that are useful in academic and professional settings. In the academic article titled Reading Your Textbook, Chapter 7, Van Berkelum states that the P2R study system is an efficient system for dealing with previewing, reading actively, and comprehension of the text. I utilize the P2R reading strategy while reading Externalities and Market Failures for my public policy course. I started by previewing the reading material, which involved me quickly scanning the document to get an overview of the content, looking at headings, subheadings, and any visuals or charts. Also, I read the introduction and conclusion to get an idea of the author's main argument and purpose. I did this to help me identify the key concepts and ideas in the reading. I read the material actively by highlighting and underlining key points as I went. I also took notes on important concepts. After reading, I took some time to reflect on what I learned, and I thought about how the reading relates to other topics I studied in the course. This step helped me synthesize the information and develop a deeper understanding of the topic. Finally, I reviewed the material to reinforce my understanding, and I did this by reviewing my notes and rereading sections of the text. This step helped me retain the information in my long-term memory and prepared me for the exam. I did achieve my study goal because when I had a quiz referring to my course reading, the P2R strategies allowed me to remember important information from the text that I was able to score 100% on my quiz, whereas if I didn't utilize this method, I might have not remembered the material and done well on the quiz. I would revise and improve the use of the P2R strategy in the future by taking notes and highlighting more information I think is important in the text. I would also compare my notes and highlights to another student and to see if our information lines up and to see if I can get a better understanding from them. An example I have of the P2R method is Sally. Sally is a college student who has a biology exam coming up and needs to read a chapter about cellular respiration. She decides to use the P2R reading method to improve her understanding and retention of the material. Well, how might she do this? First, she previews the chapter by looking at the title and section headings, and based on this, she predicts the chapter will cover the process by which cells generate energy. Next, Sally begins to read the chapter actively by taking notes on key concepts and important details. She looks for clues and that support her predictions. After she finishes reading, Sally takes some time to reflect on what she's learned and summarizes the main points in her own words. Finally, she reviews the material to reinforce her learning and goes back and rereads sections of the chapter. By using the P2R method, Sally is able to approach her biology reading in a more structured and deliberate way, which helps her understand the material better and perform well on her upcoming exam. Thank you for listening to my presentation.